Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and it's always good to have repeat performances from our friends in the community, and this is absolutely a good example of that. The Downtown San Diego Lions Club celebrating 100 years of great stuff that they've been doing in this wonderful region, and we have the president of the Downtown Lions Club with us, Douglas Wahl. How you doing, Douglas?
I'm doing great, Drew, and first and foremost, thanks for having me.
No, what's good, you guys always have some great content talking about the wonderful work that you've been doing for a century, for that matter. How long have you been involved with the Lions Club?
So I joined this club in 2009.
Okay, so you got a good 13 years in it, and they became president. Is this the year you're president, or does it go for 2 years, or you didn't know that it's a lifetime position?
So it is a 1-year job.
Okay, very, very good. And 100 years, my goodness. What activities do you have planned? Like everything?
So this year we just had our 100-year gala.
Right.
And we have some great activities coming up in the near future.
How was the gala?
It was awesome. I was trying to write a summary of it today for our newsletter, and I got stumped because I just had a huge list of all the awesome things that happened at the gala and came from the gala.
And where was it?
We had it at Admiral Baker's Club.
Oh, yeah, nice place.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, nice turnout?
Yeah, we did. Over 100 people attended.
Very good. Okay, great. So, listen, a lot of people know about Lions clubs and what they do and so forth. Is there a certain area that Lions clubs internationally or nationally or locally focus on, or it's all over the board?
So it's kind of all over the board. So first and foremost, Lions Club International, or LCI, is the largest volunteer effort in the world. More Lions in more countries than a lot of the other groups, which is pretty awesome. Most Lion clubs are kind of local, like a bedroom community group, and they serve their community.
Right.
The Downtown San Diego Lions Club is unique in many ways, but we focus on downtown San Diego in that area.
Right, exactly. So when it's Lions Club Paris or there's Lions Club Stockholm and all that, but the same thing, they focus on their neighborhood?
Most likely, yes. Most of the clubs do that.
Right. And do they take on a certain thing, or again, whatever that niche is in this part of the world? It may be education. In this part, it may be seniors, or could be youth that's underrepresented. Is that how that works?
Yeah, great question, Drew. So a lot of organizations like the Lions Club have what they do. Kind of our main thing is sight and hearing.
Right.
But we do a lot more than that. That was kind of our original thing back in the late, and I want to say it was in the late 30s. Actually, Helen Keller attended one of our national events, and she put down the challenge to the Lions to stand up and support those that were sight impaired or hearing impaired, and they took up the challenge. And so that's kind of one of our main pillars.
Right. So is Dennis Smith still involved with you folks?
Yes, he is.
So Dennis Smith, for those folks who may have heard that name before, Dennis was the CEO of the San Diego Council on Literacy, and the current CEO of San Diego Council on Literacy was the president before you were, as you well know, Jose Cruz. And I know Dennis is very much with the Center for the Blind. I think he's still working there, if I'm not mistaken.
He's the CEO of the Center for the Blind.
Yeah.
Just got promoted 3-4 months ago, I believe.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. So with that focus, let's say on eyes and blindness and sight and all that, do you buy different types of services for people that are in that area? Do you buy glasses? Do they get medical treatment? How does that work?
So the answer is yes. We do all of that, or we support all of that. One, in San Diego, we have the LOVAC, or the Lions Optometric, LOV, hold on, I've got it in my notes here. The Lions Optometric Vision Clinic.
Yeah.
And so all of the local, a lot of the local Lions clubs support them, and they provide sight services They're actually on the second floor above the San Diego Center of the Blind.
Interesting.
And they provide those services in Balboa Park. And then Lions Clubs actually do vision screening where there was just one a couple weeks ago sponsored by the Lemon Grove Lions Club. What was the other Lions Club? There were two clubs that sponsored that, Spring Valley.
Right.
And what they do is they basically set up in a school gym or someplace, and folks from the public can come in. They advertise it. They come in, they get an eye screening. They have ophthalmologists there that if they have significant eye issues can look at those. And they get a prescription, and typically they will actually walk out with a pair of eyeglasses.
Nice.
Because one of the things that all Lions Clubs do is we collect used eyeglasses. And those get funneled back to another Lions Club or organization that actually figures out what the prescription is.
Interesting.
And sorts those and stores those. And it was pretty amazing to walk into that eye screening last week and see, just these two huge trolleys with probably 1,000 pair of eyeglasses that had all been sorted, and to watch people go through and get their eyes screened and go through all the stations.
Wow.
And then they actually sit down and they'll leave with a pair of glasses or two.
Yeah, well, that's life-changing for many different reasons. We're chatting with Douglas Wahl. He's the president of Downtown Lions Club. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. I know one of the things that is important to you folks are veterans, and that's something that's near and dear to our heart at Cloudcast. We've done military shows and so forth. This is the perfect area to be involved with veterans. We have hundreds of thousands of them here, and of course, the largest military port in the country with our Navy and Marine and so forth on that aspect of it. So, with the veterans, are you working with them? Unfortunately, we have the second largest veterans homeless situation, unfortunately, in our country. Do you work with the veterans in homeless areas, or do you work with them in job training? How do you work with them?
So first and foremost, a large number of members of our club have served.
Right.
We have a huge number of veterans in our club.
Did you serve?
I did.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay. Well, which branch?
I was in the Navy, of course. We are in San Diego.
We are in Marines. There's a nice.
There are Marines, and I served with the Marines
That's
when
right.
I was in the Navy.
Yes.
But yes, I served in the Navy.
Right. So a bunch of a lot of veterans. That makes all the sense in the world. What types of projects do you work with them on?
So we fund a lot of other. So one is with our eye vision screening.
Sure.
We will go and do those for veterans. So again, those are basically people who just sign up and walk in. But number two, one of the things that our club does is we provide a lot of grant money to other nonprofits here in San Diego. We've funded Veterans Village of San Diego is a well-known one. I myself have volunteered there for years at their stand down. And another great organization we've sponsored is STEP, which is actually right down the street.
Tony DeVarian. And so Tony has been on the show quite a bit. Yeah, right, exactly. That's a great program. And matter of fact, I'm give him a shout out when he comes back on and shout you out as well.
All right. I know Tony, so great.
Yeah, he does a wonderful job. I see you also supported the Girl Scouts.
We have, in the history of our club, back in the 1920s when the club was first formed, and the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts got land down there on Upas Street in Balboa Park.
Right.
One of our first service projects was they had, helped fund one of the buildings for the Girl Scouts. And then the Lions actually went out there and they tarred the roof of the building. And there's a very funny quippet in our little history book of our club that they talked about. Most of the tar was on the roof, but a lot of the tar was on the fellow Lions.
Without question. On that, we just had the Girl Scouts on the show before you.
A great organization.
Yeah, exactly. So they are doing some wonderful work over here. And one of my good friends now just joined the board that Joyce Curry knows him very well, and Sean Neville Villamoria. He works here at Mission Fed Credit Union.
Cool. I love the Girl Scouts, but I'll put a plug in. I am heavily involved in the Boy Scouts, which is actually now a co-ed organization.
Because we brought this up at the show, I was honored to be. Were you on the Midway over the weekend?
No, I was not this weekend, but
Right. So they did. So scouting just recognized Jerry Sanders as the Man of the Year.
Oh, awesome.
And that's when I found out that they are co-ed because they had someone. Well, when did that transition take place?
I think it was about 5 years ago. I was actually overseas when that happened. And when I came back from being overseas,
Right.
I was like, what a great decision.
It was terrific. They had a girl was out there talking about it. She was got her quadruple Eagle Scout aspect of it and just blew the audience away on that aspect. Are there other areas that as the world switches with what its needs are, and there's a lot of them, of course, that you might morph to? For example, we talked about climate change, and I think with the Girl Scouts, do you guys get involved in those types of things as needs change throughout the years?
A lot of times, a lot of our money and the grants that we provide are to organizations in San Diego.
Right.
Sometimes we'll get into bigger ones. We donated some money to LCI, which is our international organization that was providing money to support refugees from Ukraine. But a lot of our money is more so focused locally.
Right. Well, that sounds good. We're chatting with Douglas Wahl, president of the Downtown Lions Club. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. When we come back from break, we want to talk about more about your outreach, certainly what our listeners can do to support your organization. I'm sure one of them is become a member. Would not be a bad thing to do in that aspect. And then maybe we'll put on your crystal ball, Douglas, and say, where do you see the Lions Club maybe in 5 years, 10 years? Where would you like to see it in 5 or 10 years? And then maybe here are some of the challenges. Obviously, there was nobody who didn't face a challenge during the pandemic, and you can argue it's still going on and all that aspect of it. What we can do to help in that area, too. How's that sound?
Sounds great, Drew.
We're going to be right back with Douglas Wahl, president of the Downtown Lions Club. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you are listening to Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing great things for San Diegans for more than 60 years.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We're in a very cool Mission Fed Credit Union studio. They've been bringing great things to San Diego for more than 60 years. Honored to have in the studio with us today Douglas Wahl, president of the Downtown Lions Club, celebrating 100 years of doing just such cool things into our region over here. And, listen, like a lot of service organizations, membership is the bread and butter and the go-to, no different with Lions, correct?
Yes, it is.
Talk about that.
Yeah, well, I will tell you that we have members in the Lions Club from all over San Diego. Very few of us actually live in downtown San Diego, but that's kind of our main focus. To sum up membership, I would basically say we're just a bunch of San Diegans that want to make San Diego a better place.
And you do, in very many aspects of it, and you've been touching people's lives, whether it's veterans, whether it's the blind, whether it's literacy, whether it's scholarships and so forth. But there's no question that anybody who's been around high school sports in San Diego knows about the greatest, the biggest, the most famous baseball high school tournament in the country, probably the world for that matter, and that's the Lions Tournament. How many years now?
So it started in 1951, and I'm not going to be able to do that math in my
71.
head, but of 71 years.
Right.
All right.
71 years. And Peter Gallagher, the director, has been doing it for all 71 years. And I'm teasing. Peter, if you're hearing the show, you've not been doing it for 71 years. No, Judge Gallagher has just been an amazing tournament director, correct?
Yeah, a stanchion of the club.
Yeah. And, one of the shows we did with Peter, and he come on every year, because it's usually done during spring break, if I'm not mistaken. And these days, spring break falls under 5 different weeks. So it's trying to juggle that calendar with all the 43 school districts. The amount of professional baseball players that come out of that tournament, you could form 7 all-star teams, correct?
You could. And I can't name them all, but if you go to our website, we actually have a list of all of the professional players who have played in the tournament.
Right. It's a great tournament. Do you get involved at all yourself?
Yes, I have volunteered for the last several years.
Right, because Peter would have nothing but having people volunteer. He needs it. He needs a lot of.
It is.
So that'll be going on again, all set for 2023 in the spring, correct?
We are. In fact, we had our our first post-COVID tournament last year. Huge turnout. We actually had a team come down from Alaska, which was incredible to see a baseball team come all the way down from Alaska.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's a great energy economic driver here, because so many teams participate in this, and they're filling the hotels up and the restaurants and so forth. It's a great thing. Talk about Lions Camp Jack.
Ooh, Lions Camp Jack. Okay, so Lions Camp Jack was started back in 1996 by one of our Lions. His name was Wyatt, and they basically we identify kids somewhere in the age range between 9 and 12, and we send them, and these are typically inner city kids, and we send them to a free week of camp. And it is amazing. Nice. It is amazing.
Now, the camps here in San Diego County, are they up in the mountains? Where are they?
Typically in the Alpine area out there. We partnered actually for the last 2 years with a camp called Whispering Winds, and they run the camp. It was just amazing.
And are these kids usually that don't have that opportunity? Are they underrepresented kids?
Yeah, these are kids that have never gone camping.
Yeah.
They've never maybe spent a night outside, their home or maybe a parent's home. We have kids that have never fished before, have never been in a boat before. It is amazing.
I'm so glad you brought this up. It's a common refrain that I've had on the show since I've been doing it since 2007. The amount of kids in San Diego County that have never been to fill in the blank, the beach, the mountains, a lake, a professional baseball game, a college game is huge. And it mind boggles those people who don't know there's a lot of underrepresented kids there. That's your DNA. That's a Lions Club. That's what you folks do. And when you change that kid's life, because it's the first time they've thrown a fishing pole in, it just must be unbelievably heartwarming.
Yeah, we've, the beauty about Camp Jack is through the years, we've had kids who have participated in it for several years. And we've actually had kids who have participated in it who wanted to come back and volunteer and be a counselor in the program. And it is great.
Right. Talk about scholarships. Do you guys do scholarships?
We do. We actually have our own scholarship fund that the club does, where we do a speaker scholarship that we have basically kids from the inner city downtown San Diego schools that come in and they do like a public speaking, and they all we usually give each one of them a small scholarship, but the person who wins gets a larger scholarship. And kind of one of the key points to that is not only the money helps.
Sure.
But we actually also have a hired professional who helps each one of those individual kids get into college. Because a lot of times they might not know how to apply to college or how to, what the due dates are. And so this individual actually facilitates all of that. And it's nice because in the past, we've actually had her reach out and say, hey, we have a kid who's going to school up in Santa Barbara and they need to get to school. And we've had a Lion volunteer to drive them up to Santa Barbara.
And just think about how that changed that person's life. What other future events do you have come on, or initiatives and programs?
So we have a couple things. In October, we are actually doing a used shoe drive for the San Diego Center for the Blind. So we're going to collect used shoes. We turn them over, and they actually have another company that they turn those over to that provides funding for them. In November, we're going to do a what I call a material drive soap, food stuff, paper towels, stuff like that for the Fisher House, which is kind of like the Ronald McDonald House, except the Fisher House is actually at military bases.
Right.
And we're going to be sponsoring the one that's at Naval Center Balboa.
Sure.
And then in December, we're going to have a holiday party where we are going to collect toys for kids, maybe Toys for Tots, maybe the Salvation Army. But every year we have a holiday party. And this year, we're going to have a theme for that holiday party.
No, that's great. We're chatting with Douglas Wahl. He's the president of the Downtown Lions Club. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Spotlight on the Community. So how many members do you have right now?
We have just under 100. I think we're around 94, 95.
Right, exactly. Now, you don't have to work in downtown or live in downtown to be a member of the Downtown Lions Club, correct?
No, you don't.
Right.
No.
If you want to live in Timbuktu, that's up to you.
We have members in Escondido, in Oceanside. I personally live in Claremont.
Right.
We have a lot of members that live out on Coronado.
Right. How many of the members that once you got infected in a positive way with the Downtown Lions Club bug have been there for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years?
I think probably the best litmus test of our membership was COVID.
Right.
Right. So COVID came along. A lot of organizations like ours didn't do so well. They folded. They lost members. Our club, due to our executive director and actually President Jose Cruz, who we call President Zoom, was very quick to change our membership meetings from basically going in person to online. So we had meetings. We have a bunch of boards that meet via Zoom now. And we did not lose a single member during COVID. And we did not have a break in our business or our granting of funds during COVID.
Well, that's a testament to Jose, to you, the members, the board, and all that business. So congratulations. That was not the rule of thumb. But about a minute to go here. What else can we do to support your efforts?
I would say if you go to Google and put in Downtown San Diego Lions Club, we have a website. It tells about a lot of the stuff we have not been able to cover today because for Lions Club, we really do a lot. Check it out. If you're interested in being a member, come to one of our meetings. We do 2 meetings a month. Typically, the second Tuesday of the month, we do a lunch meeting from 12 to 1. And then the fourth Tuesday, we do a dinner meeting. We're a little different than a lot of Lions Clubs where our meetings aren't actually business. They're a little social aspect. We have a great caterer, La Hadas. The food is fantastic.
Getting me hungry, Douglas.
I'm sorry. And then we have speakers from the community come in and address the club during the meeting. So maybe the ASPCA, we have the mayor coming up in the future who's going to come and address the club. And so you come in, you have a great meal, you meet some great people. Maybe you donate a little money to help whatever our project is, and then you get to learn a lot about San Diego.
That's great. Shout out that website one more time.
It is sandiegolions.org.
Do me a favor. Come back on our show and bring somebody that's benefited from your services. Either bring a veteran or bring somebody who's maybe sight challenged.
Sure.
And or 2 of them, and then we'll talk about how you folks have done that, all right?
Yeah, that would be great.
Consider that a done deal. Shout out the website one more time.
sandiegolions.org.
And I've been chatting with Douglas Wahl, president of the Downtown Lions Club. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you've been listening to Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing terrific things for San Diego for more than 60 years.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.